into battle.
You
see, not enjoying because he want to study and he want to know more, but the pressure push him to be soldier.
By now, after years of bombing, the Plain of Jars had ceased to exist. But the biggest bombing in history was yet to come.
And what the Plain of Jars and what it's a symbol of is how those people on the vague frontiers, those people in the third world, those people we never see and never know about and never hear, can be vaporized, wiped off the face of the earth without people back here even knowing about it.
And then they would fly these B-52s in what they considered carpet bombing, arc light strikes.
The B-52 strikes are 1 kilometer wide and 3 kilometers long.
But the arc lights were so high and a precision bomb, nobody could hear them.
What had started as an air-supported guerrilla war had escalated into an all-out air war. Although the B-52 proved to be the wrong weapon to attack soldiers in the jungle, the war machine continued inexorably. For a period of 9 years, the U.S. Air Force conducted airstrikes every 8 minutes.
Any sign of life in enemy area is considered military targets. When it gets down to people in Laos, whatever move was shot at, was bombed, was naked.
It was more than 10 arc lights that I called in.
I was sitting on the TACAN pad looking into the valley, and suddenly the whole valley just exploded. It must have been terrifying to anybody that survived it. I mean, the whole valley.
And I want to credit the agency. I want to credit all the case officers and the staffs, everybody. That was a great organization, and I'm very proud of it. For my efforts there, I received the Intelligence Star for Valor, and the citation is just wonderful. It makes me want to cry.
The secret war in Laos was the largest air war in human history. The United States dropped more bombs on Laos than it did on Germany and Japan combined during World War II.
If the United States is guilty of war crimes in Vietnam, it's systemic war crimes where we violate the laws of war as an act of policy by commanders, okay? That war crime was the bombing of northern Laos. We destroyed a civilization. We destroyed a small medieval civilization, the Lao Fung civilization surrounding the Plain of Jars. We wiped it off the face of the planet. We drove tens of thousands of people into becoming refugees. We inflicted, we don't know how many dead. There's no counting. All right, we incinerated, we atomized human remains in this air war, okay? And what happened in the end? We lost.
I've never done this with my own parents. We're speaking to them. The question of how we do these things is very important. We often intervene in these places, and our leaders stir up our emotions by making the case that we should do it. And we don't think enough about how we're going to do it. And it's the how that's important, not the rights and wrongs.
At the end of our trip, we reached Longchang. it's clear that the village has sunk back into oblivion. A few Lao troops are stationed here in what looks like a ghost town.
In the next future, we will have a new road access to Siang Kwang province. It also means that we open Longchang accesses, which is tourism attraction in the next future.
Vang Pao's house is sealed off, and the old CIA compounds lie in ruins. From here, the American vision of a free world brought only death and destruction. Today, Longchang is a stark reminder of the failure of this vision. In May 1975, 2 weeks after the end of the Vietnam War, the Pathet Lao won, and the CIA evacuated Longchang. They took 3,000 Hmong with them. Thousands more were left behind to fend for themselves. Now, more than 30 years later, these forgotten people finally get their chance for peace.
Why is your son in Iraq?
I've asked him that before.
Who?
I asked my son, why are you going? I owed lots of people, Daddy, a lot of money. And I can pay my bills that way. That's what he's doing. That's basically what I did.